Good morning, this is Mr. Rancourt. And here are your assignments. Here's what you need to do for May 1st and May 2nd. Okay, so the first thing I need you to make sure you have done and checked off with me is this page right here called Cellular Respiration, Energy and How Cells Use It. Okay. In the last class, you were supposed to read this and highlight this and then answer the multiple choice questions and the short answer questions and then bring it to me and I'm just going to check it for you. Okay. And if it was okay, then I asked you to start this one. Okay. If you did not get this one or you haven't started this one, you'll need to come up and get this when you're ready, assuming that I've already checked this one off. Okay. And then the same thing. You're going to watch the video from April 29th and April 30th. Yes. Okay, so you'll have to go back into Canvas to access that. I'll even write this right here so you have this. April 29th and 30th on Canvas. Okay. Highlight, answer the questions, same thing, using complete sentences. Then I check you off. Come see me, I'll do that. Okay. Then, so when you have this checked off with me and you have this checked off with me, okay, here is your next assignment. You should have picked up 2 papers off the back lab table, and if you haven't, you'll need to do that. This one right here, and this one right here, okay? I understand this says to cut things out. I don't want you to do that yet. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take some notes on this, okay? So make sure you have something to write with, okay? And here we go. And I'll tell you what to do with this paper when you're done with it, all right? So just as a quick reminder, okay, cellular respiration is the process of, and again, you're copying this down, the process of converting energy in the food we ingest. So the process of converting energy in the food we ingest, or the food that we take in, into a usable form of energy, that our cells can use for their cellular processes. I know that's a long definition, and I'll explain that to you in just a second. Let me read this back to you one more time. So, the process of converting energy in the food we ingest into a usable form of energy that our cells can use for their cellular processes. And I know I used that word use in there a few times, so let's kind of break this down. So cellular respiration is just essentially taking the food that we eat and breaking it down into small enough pieces that can be absorbed by our cells and then broken down even more chemically so that our cells can use them for whatever they need to use them for. Okay? And the reason why I give you different definitions is because I want you to hear how it's explained in different ways, but also there's some commonalities in between all of these definitions, okay? I'm going to highlight this, and you can do this as well. I'll leave the highlighters out. So it's a process. So it's a series of steps, right? And we talked about how it's there's 2 steps, in cellular respiration. The first one starts in the cytoplasm, okay, and the second one starts in the mitochondria. And essentially, it's all about converting food that we eat, yeah? Converting food that we eat, okay, into something more usable for our cells. That's all it is, okay? And hopefully, no matter what definition I've given you or what definition you come across in the future, these are the common phrases that will be used, okay? All right, so let's talk about what we need to start cellular respiration. So the first thing we need is sugar or glucose. You're going to write all these down. Or chemically, what we call it is this. We call it C6H12O6. That's the first thing you need, yeah? We get that sugar from breaking down our food, yeah? Not only in our stomach, but inside the cell, specifically in the cytoplasm in the mitochondria, okay? We also need that very important thing to do this, oxygen. And oxygen is a key player in cellular respiration because oxygen provides, like, it's almost like the gasoline in the mitochondria. When I've told you, when you take pure oxygen and you ignite it, it actually creates a lot of energy, yeah? And so essentially what's happening in the mitochondria is that the oxygen is mixed with the glucose, and it's what I would call, quote unquote, lit on fire. So much so that you can use it for whatever your cells need to use it for, okay? So oxygen or O2. And what's produced is this stuff called ATP, adenine triphosphate. And I know that that's probably going to be really hard for you to remember. So we just call it energy in beginning biology. We just call it energy. ATP is just energy, okay? But it also produces some byproducts or some waste. It produces water, or H2O. But it also produces one more important thing, and that's carbon dioxide. And we release that back into the atmosphere, and then that carbon dioxide, or that CO2, is then inhaled, so to speak, by plants so that they can start photosynthesis and then cellular respiration, which then allows us to do the same thing. So it's this one whole complete cycle, yeah? Okay. So after you get this written down, then what you're going to do is you're going to take, first of all, cut this whole thing out right along the edge here. Yeah, all the way around, just cut that out. Okay, throw the scrap away. And then you're going to take these pieces, cut out along the edge here, okay, very outer edge of each one. Yes, okay, all of those, cut these all out. And you're going to glue them, glue the tabs, so glue these, only the tabs, not the whole thing, down on it like this. So then you should have tabs like this. Notice it says glue here, okay? You're gonna glue the tabs in. And when you get done with that, you're gonna bring it up to me and I'm gonna check it off for you, okay? Then the very last thing I need you to do is you're gonna take this back to your seat after I check it off, and there's gonna be a quiz in the Canvas assignment for today, and I need you to take that. You can use this for the quiz. You can use anything else in your notes for the quiz. And then when you're done with that, you should find something silently to do. If you have any questions, please make sure that you see me. Thank you.